The whole thing is the biggest, craziest, mind-twisted sham. But how do they get the people in? They get them in because they get them very early, and it's all predicated on fear. The world is ending. The world is ending. The world is ending. I think they tried to predict the world was going to end 4 times already, and it hasn't happened yet, right? It hasn't happened. And so why hasn't it happened? Because they know it ain't going to happen. What they're doing is they set these dates up in the future and get everybody pumped up with all this fear and have them going out there recruiting new people and which brings what? More money into the Kingdom Hall. They don't have a church. They call it Kingdom Hall. And then when the money comes into the Kingdom Hall, they buy more real estate for it. And the money funnels up to the top. It's a pyramid scam. Money funnels up to the top. And I'm going to show you who's at the top of this whole organization. And these guys are considered God on earth. Pretty interesting. Here they go right here. So this is the governing body of Jehovah's Witness. This is their title. This is the governing body of Jehovah's Witness. They are the ruling council of Jehovah's Witness based in New York State. Now, these guys here, the governing body of Jehovah's Witness, it's a male-only group of leaders. Male only. Women have no rights in the Jehovah's Witness. They have no power. They can't sit in any. They can't speak. They can't get up and talk. They can't be at the front speaking to the congregation. It's like the olden days, right? That's like, if they can get them to not vote, they'd get them to take that away from them as well. But, you have these guys here. Garrett Law, Samuel Hurd, David Splain. Who's this other guy down here? Let me move this thing out of the way. Mark Sanderson, Stephen Lett, Jeffrey Jackson, Anthony Morris, and Kenneth Cook. This is the people that are controlling the Jehovah's Witness. And also, it's not only that they control the Jehovah's Witnesses, they are considered to be God on earth. That is their actual title. If you ask a Jehovah's Witness, they will tell you this governing body, this ruling council, everything goes through them because they are considered to be God walking in the flesh. And anything that happens in your life or in any of the other things dealing with anything with the Jehovah's Witness organization, whatever they say is the ultimate because it's direct. It's God speaking direct. It's not a question or it's not a like we think this might be the answer. It's when they speak it, it's because to them, to the religion, it's because they are the God, representatives of God in the flesh on earth. So these men have the God complex. They're walking gods, but they're the only ones. Everybody else is not a God. Only them. They're the only ones that are gods. And they've instituted this very strict system where they get you to discourage your children from getting higher education. This is a big push in Jehovah's Witness. There's one Jehovah's Witness family that I know. Every single one of the kids is a high school dropout. And they would drop out of high school 8th, 9th grade. The mother and father were A-okay with it. A-okay with it. Why? It's discouraged to even have any level of intelligence when it comes to secular studies. And if you want to go to college, forget about it. They tell you it's a waste of time. They say, why are they doing that? Because even though our school systems are institutionalized and really a part of this programming matrix, it will give you enough of the people will get enough understanding and knowledge to start questioning some things, and they'll get a higher sense of reasoning, and they'll be like, wait a minute, this don't make no sense. And so they discourage higher education. They discourage your ability to graduate. If you don't graduate from high school, not a big deal. And what these guys say, and there's a video clip I wish I could play it on here, but I can't because it will get my account pinged for copyright because it's on somebody else's account. But they're like, quote unquote, leaders. One of them gets up and says, the reason why we discourage the higher education is because you don't need it. Because when paradise comes here, we won't need attorneys. We won't need doctors. We won't need lawyers. And we won't need this and that. And what we're going to need is people who know how to work wood and build and clean. That's what we need. I'm like, holy crap, these people are really sick. This guy actually said this on the TV show, the Jehovah's Witness channel, whatever they got. And I'm like, this is really sick. So what they're doing is they're promoting ignorance and pumping fear. And so with the ignorance and the fear, those two go together, you got a doggone perfect storm for somebody that's going to be a fanatic in whatever you're pushing at them. And that's what they've done. So they did a survey that asked how doctrinal policy of Jehovah's Witnesses has affected families of former members. 65% answered that the policy destroyed or seriously disrupted their family relationships. How? I'm going to talk to you about that. When you get kicked out, that's what happens. It's not like you've been removed or kicked out of the church. It's a whole other level where even your family disowns you, which we'll talk about. Disrupted their family relationships. 53% stated that their family wanted no contact at all. Also, 17% of Jehovah's Witnesses actively shunning a relative, only get in touch when they need something. Shunning and getting kicked out, it's because you committed a sin. You did something. You may have kissed your girlfriend. You may have had sex with somebody that when you weren't married to them. You may have masturbated. You may have I don't know. It could be anything. It can literally be virtually almost anything. And what they do is they get these three guys from the church that are considered, they call them the brothers, the brotherhood, right? They got the brotherhood. Thoth warns us about these people. He calls them the dark brothers. And he gets these brothers together. They get the brothers together and then they interrogate you. I don't care how old you are. You get interrogated. And the questions that they ask, I can't even repeat on this channel because it'll get shut down. The questions that they ask are sick. They'll ask a kid about their parts and about and did it touch their skin and all this crazy kind of stuff. They interrogate you to get you to say something, which you have the right to not say, but they never tell you you don't have the right to not say anything about what you've done in the past. Sometimes they'll interrogate you out of the blue just to make you speak on something ridiculous so they can have you, disavowed from the church and kicked out of the church, excommunicated, basically. That once that's done, though, your entire family has to excommunicate you, and all your friends have to excommunicate you. All the people you've been associated with in that social circle, they have to excommunicate you as well. They can't talk to you, interact with you, or anything, or they'll be kicked out as well. And so the grasp on these people is so tight. And what they do is they say, you know what? Every now and then we got to kick somebody out of here to put the fear back in the rest of the people. So that's why they do these random interrogations on people. And then they come up with these cockamamie excuses and ideas as to why this person's got to be kicked out and shunned. And then that gets everybody else in this super fear mode. And now they don't want to be the next one getting kicked out. Well, they don't tell you that you have the right to not say anything. If you don't say anything, they can't do anything to you. But they don't want to tell you that, right?